Hello, 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 lips. Hey, it's your girl, Miss Mouthy. And if you are listening, you are tuned into the Miss Mouthy podcast. And if you're returning set of lips, hey, thanks for coming back to pop your shit with your girl. And you guys, your girl got a Spirit of Detroit award. I'm super excited. Um, that situation was just pure D blessings. I think for anybody who may be experiencing following a dream or a purpose, go after it. Whatever you think for yourself, you can literally make that a reality if you just
That's
go
real.
full force in it. And today, I got such a special, amazing guest. He has been blazing, being a trailblazer, and just out here in the city doing advocacy for trans men and AFAB folks alike. Special guest, can you introduce yourself?
Hey, how y'all doing? My name is Elijah Marquise. For those who don't know me already, thank you for having me.
Of
Yeah,
course, of course. It's you. I mean, if not you, then who?
I mean, don't stroke my
Um,
ego.
okay. So happy birthday to
Oh
you.
my god, oh
Go
my god,
ahead. Let's
thank
get
you.
into it.
Oh my god, thank you. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's Aries season.
Um, do y'all get a lot of smoke for me and Aries? Cause
Yeah. They feel like we egotistical, a little salacious, a little bit. We got
okay,
we got big personality.
okay, salacious. Ooh. um, cause I get that Aries. It's like I love them, and then when they get to popping their shit,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, y'all mouth is
Yeah,
reckless.
it's reckless. We comfortable in our skin. I feel like our personality range from Maya Angelou to Hugh Hefner.
I could see that. I
Yeah,
could see that.
yeah.
Yeah.
We mature, we get real Maya Angelou, but we Hugh Hefner, Juicy J on other days.
Okay. You know, one of the things that I really love about celebrating trans folks' birthdays
Yeah,
is because I feel like we constantly have this kind of silent mark of death on us, or
yeah,
people always just hate that we exist in the way we
yeah,
do. So when I see another transfer person celebrating their life, like that means so much to
yeah,
me.
yeah.
You know what I
It
mean?
bring me joy, especially like people who celebrate their newborn day.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah. Their mine would be December 31st. So,
Okay.
but being a Capricorn, I don't know.
They laid back though. All the Capricorns that I know has
Yeah,
been
they the
really
horn
chill.
twins, so they all
Yeah.
right. Yeah, they
Yeah.
all
So I don't remember my born day. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I do remember when my name was legally changed. It
right.
actually was on my birthday one year,
Oh, that's what's
and I
up.
was like, "This is the best
Yeah,
gift
that's
I
the
can
best
ever."
gift
Yeah,
ever. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Um. So let's get into it. Tell them about the work that you have been doing, lately in the city. Like one thing I've seen you. They said just get on this panel and support my coworker, and then I seen you on there, and I was like, "Oh, look who
Yeah.
doing the work, the Lord's work."
Yes,
Okay.
yes, amen to that and doing the Lord's work. Yeah, actually, that panel was for AFAB folks, and I was bringing awareness to the fact that trans men we often get left out of the conversations about prep and just different
Yeah.
medical conversations. It's so many myths that go into being trans that I just want to highlight it and bring light to that. Like, hey, we exist. Like, things are possible with our bodies. That our anatomy is different. So yeah,
Yeah. So that's the reason why I wanted to entitle this episode "Untucking with a Trans Man." Okay.
I like this. I
Shout
like
out
this.
to you.
Yes,
Okay.
I like that. It's very
But
raunchy.
what it made me think of was that, like, as a trans woman, oftentimes I don't get to just unpack or unleash the
Yeah,
different experiences that I feel like we
yeah.
have. So I'm glad that you're here so I can really let loose, but also
Yeah.
learn,
I
know?
think they keep us so divided and separated. Even when they do like focus groups, it's always just for the girls or just for the guys. So
Yeah. And like when I'm in spaces with reproductive rights, I'm like, why the fuck aren't trans men at the conversation? Like, what is going on?
yeah. Often I think it's the myth that we can't get pregnant because we on testosterone.
Yeah. Okay. So talk about it. Okay. That is a myth because a lot of people are under that impression that if you started your hormones, then
That's
you
not
alleviate
that's
that.
not true. That's why they out here shooting the clubs up and then wondering why they pregnant.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is kids something that you ever thought that you wanted?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, fool. They almost got me early.
Uh,
Yeah, I do want a kid, and to disclose, I also want to carry.
okay. Okay. I
Yeah.
think that's awesome as fuck. Like not being funny afterwards. If I was ever have a child again, I wanted the whole shoot thing because when I see it, I'd be like, oh, they
Oh no,
owning
y'all
they.
ain't getting the whole shoot.
Oh,
I'm gonna disappear for 9 months, short with a kid. I'm gonna be like,
see
yeah,
that?
here you
Yeah, that was my reality, you
Yeah,
know. So it's just like, but I think however you decide to do it would be beautiful. But I think when I see people embrace that,
yeah,
especially going against what society think is like the norm,
yeah,
I love that shit.
yeah.
Like I love it all the time. Even when I see T for T relationships. So
I love that.
can we talk about it?
Yes,
Yeah.
like I love when they successful and they not toxic.
Yeah. Okay.
They're my
So
favorites.
let's go back. For the people who may not know, what
Mhm.
is your attractionality?
I am trans attracted. Yes, I am.
And gang, gang.
Yeah,
And so for all my newbies who may not know what that is, because I have to be mindful. Like people come back to me with language
yeah,
like, what do you mean by blah, blah, blah?"
yeah. I feel
So
you.
explain it to them.
I am attracted to trans women.
Yes.
Yes.
Um, because oftentimes when people find out that I actually have a biological child, they be like, well, how did that happen? And who carried? And this. I'm
Yeah.
like, we both was living in our existence. Like we both was trans. We both fell in
I
love.
love that
You
though.
know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I don't think it could have happened any other way. Like,
I don't see it happening any other way. If you want to be truthful, like
yeah,
that's my attraction. That's where like I feel most. My mind is appeased most by it. Like even
yeah,
like before transitioning and dating a cisgender woman, I never thought about just the whole like process of inseminating. Like
yeah.
yeah, that's never crossed my
Was
mind.
there anything that you were apprehensive about with being attracted or dating a trans woman?
Can I be all the way honest?
Better. You
Oh,
better.
okay. With that being said, I done been in the community for 5
Hmm.
years now. I done been around the park, and with that being said, it's a lot of stipulations and different things that
Yeah.
people will pull me to the side, like, hey, watch out for this or watch out for that. And
Yeah.
I
It's
was
kind of
scared.
like throwing salt in an open wound. Like you ain't even give a person a chance to heal or even try it
Yeah,
before you're already giving them the negative connotations of what could happen or go wrong.
yeah, yeah. And honestly, I have never had any other experiences that was brought to me.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people say a lot of things from domestic violence to
Yeah.
I've never experienced those things. Like, oh, I'm happy across the board.
I think that's too why like it's hard for me to necessarily want to date or put myself on the dating scene, no matter whether it's cis or trans, because I've never experienced domestic violence, and I'm so terrified for somebody to just boop, 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 go up
Yeah,
my head. Like
yeah,
I wouldn't know what to do with that.
yeah. I definitely think about that too. Like,
Yeah,
especially being a trans guy, I would never want
and
to
I got a
date
smart ass
somebody.
mouth.
Yeah, I would never want to date somebody that feel like, hey, at the end of the day, you trans. And
Yeah, you know. So
yeah, that's
yeah,
real.
no, um, but some of the best relationships I had came from T for T
That
relationships.
was my best relationship. Don't tell her that. Anybody watching
Okay.
that, do not tell her that. Yeah, I know who I'm talking about. It was
Uh,
it was my best relationship.
yeah,
The most I've ever felt understood and misunderstood at the
at the
same
same
time.
time. Yeah.
At the same time.
And having somebody to share that journey of like my dysphoria or my journey of my transition
Yeah,
and like how societal norms play in a
yeah,
factor. I got to see it for myself,
yeah,
but I also got to see it from his perspective as well. And I was like,
yeah. I felt
yeah,
that because me and her would have a lot of dope moments. Like just, I would give her shot sometime,
yeah.
and I think that was just like an intimate, close moment for me as a yeah,
And people don't even recognize how like it can come up during sex or when you're being intimate with your partner is that like once I started my first T for T relationship, I didn't have to worry about, oh, and just scared with everything that's going on with
yeah,
my body. And it was just like, it just
yeah.
worked. It just clicked. It
Yeah.
just worked.
And I always stress to her like be comfortable in your skin.
Yeah, come to the mic.
I think that was most
Uh-huh.
attractive, her being comfortable in her skin.
Yeah.
Like even like the phrase of the show, untucking with a trans man. I think that's the most
Period.
sexiest thing where you just confident in your skin in your house.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Because early in my 20s, I just was not trying to own that part of my anatomy. I wasn't trying to do nothing because I was so demonized and
Yeah.
shamed for it. So,
And I can respect that because I was going to sleep in my binder. I was
yeah.
almost killing myself in my ear because I'm trying to be cute.
Yeah, and nobody
Yeah.
tells you that. And even though the uncomfortable feel of it all, nobody is telling you you got permission to release yourself.
Yeah.
you got permission to show up in your wholeness and just
That's
allow
right.
yourself to be,
Yeah,
you
like
know?
just be in your skin and live as a human being.
Okay.
Yeah,
We so used to being policed and like people telling us what we shouldn't do or how we should show up in the world, but
yeah.
mm-mm.
Cause they been on me since I really like stepped into manhood. It's all about what a man can't do,
Yeah.
shouldn't do, emotions. Like it's
So
crazy.
so paint a picture for how young Eli was.
Ooh, toxic across the board. I ain't gonna lie,
I love that.
young Aries, impressionable.
Okay.
I had a very rough childhood, so I
Hmm.
would do a lot of different things for that 5 minute friend.
Yeah.
You know, lighting blunts in class. Like I was just
Oh,
completely different than I am
yeah.
now. Like completely different than I am now.
And that's the same here, but I was on the other end of the spectrum. I was so shy and timid and like didn't want anybody to know like I existed because I
Yeah,
didn't like how I was showing up in the world. Like I didn't like that who they saw was really not who I am.
yeah.
So once I was able to like be my full self, that's why I'm so confident. Now that's why I'm like,
See, I thought I was my full self because lesbians get a different acceptance.
yeah, that's so
I
real.
thought I was being my full self because I'm like, all right, ain't nobody judging me, ain't nobody saying nothing. They actually think it's hot girl on
Yeah,
girl, so
yeah.
it was different at that time. Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Did the women that you used to date before transition, did they have a different standard of you than they have now that you've transitioned?
Yes, completely because I was only attracted to heterosexual women.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was bringing them to the dark side, you
Yeah.
feel me? And
Was it really dark?
yeah, it was dark. If you never been with
Okay.
a woman before, I was trying to
No,
turn you on.
no.
I was
Okay.
trying to turn you on.
Okay.
But it came with a lot of stipulations, like what they was used to with men and just
Okay.
a lot of studs they don't mind stepping up and being baby daddy and taking care of a
Yeah.
whole household. So
Yeah.
it came with different stipulations.
Okay. How do you feel like now that you have transitioned, the world prioritize you now? Because now you're a threat, right? Like now you're a black man
Yeah.
showing up in America. What was the difference from that to now?
I think from that to now, I have a level of masculinity where it's like even men have a level of comfort with me where they'll say certain stuff that they wouldn't say to a cisgender man.
Mm.
Hey, bro, let me talk to you about this emotional thing I'm going through with my woman, or I'm
Okay.
thinking about this, or I'm thinking about that. Like it come with a level of comfort, but also being a guy that lives stealth, it come with certain perks. Like I'll be in
Yeah.
the barbershop, and I'm intimidating, so I'm next.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm next in line. Yeah, for surely.
Okay. Um, I think one of the things we could really hum in on is like, how do we as a community, or I'll say this, I'll speak for myself. How can I, as a trans woman, show up and make space for more trans men and trans masculine folks to come in and not only share their story? Because I've been in spaces where I've seen
Yeah,
trans men kind of talk about their experiences, and something happened with trans women that's around there where we get the defensive and we feel like it's a personal attack against what y'all been through or
yeah.
experienced through a trans woman.
Yeah, and I can get that because I sometimes I see the attack, and what I think the attack is that our trauma is different.
Mm,
You feel me? Like y'all, we pretty much switch places, so it's privilege to even come into being a
yeah,
male.
yeah,
You feel me? Where it's like women already kind of get treated as secondary creatures,
yeah,
so we exchange energy from what we was already used to.
yeah,
So a lot of people don't even know how to be like, okay, that's how a man's supposed to lead, or no, I'm not supposed to be arguing with you because that's kind of feminine, or like
yeah.
however you may perceive it. And I think the trauma as far as like women getting bashed and things actually happen like deaths. You feel me?
Yeah, yeah,
Where our trauma is more mental. It's more we have the highest suicide rate.
yeah.
You feel me? Like ours is kind of eternal because as a man you get taught not to feel. But
That's
we've
true.
been feeling our
Since
whole life.
yeah,
And now we done came in and now it's like, hey, put your feelings in your chest. So now
yeah,
everything you feeling,
you can't
you
talk
dealing
about.
with it silently and you raging out and a little different stuff. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that makes so much sense. Because even in the situation where I have found myself to be like doing this work and I've heard it in the streets where they like, y'all don't do it for trans men and y'all won't bring us to the, and then when I ask a brother to like show up and come
Yeah.
up,
Yeah.
I get it. Like
Yeah.
I want to respect people ability to live stealth or however they choose, but I also be like, we need you. We
Oh,
need
trust me, I agree because as a guy that actually does the work,
Hmm.
I inbox them or I text them like, "Hey, bro, I'm doing this event," and they'll tell me like, "Bro, they ain't got nothing to do with me."
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even a trans man. I'm like, technically,
Yeah, this is it.
yeah, but I get you live stealth, and I understand. But that's why I try to be visible because if nobody gonna do it, like recently, like a couple years back, I had a conversation with one of the girls that was more like, somebody was complaining because we was getting left out of the conversation.
Right.
But I understood where they was coming from because I'm like, if you gonna live stealth, you not showing up to the conversation.
Yeah.
It's like I can't include you in the conversation that you not coming to. So I
Yeah.
started being a guy to come to the conversation.
Because one of the most disheartening things, y'all, lips. The one of the most disheartening things I see oftentimes is I hate to play the trauma Olympics or the suffering Olympics, but we gonna be real. If we untucking, I hate to see that trans women get attacked or we get bullied, whether it's in social media, physically, just talked about in masculine spaces.
Mhm.
Nobody comes to bat for us. Like it literally be like not the cisgender women, not the cisgender men, not the trans men, and they sit back and just be like, "Bruh,
Yeah,
what happened?" But you know different than any other men that we deal with. Because if you love me in secrecy and still want the demise or the harm,
but it's a lot of DL trans men.
okay, yeah,
I ain't gonna lie about it. It's a lot of DL trans men. I got a homegirl, me and her cool, but she let me know, she got a trans man. He come through at 3 in the morning, mess with her and he out. He call her every
yeah,
couple weeks. You feel me? Like this DL, they acting like I guess the trade or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It'd be like, damn, how do we process that as women to be able to feel like we want love and people paint this picture that T for T relationships, everything's
yeah.
gonna be great, and you get with that and get treated the exact same way.
But that's why I'm having a hard problem as a man that's trans attracted.
Okay.
Because I come in, I'm open, I'm buying flowers. I don't mind spending money.
Yeah.
It ain't tricking if you got it. So
Hey,
it
if you
is what
got
it
it.
it is what it is, you feel me? And a lot of the times I think I overwhelm women.
Yeah.
I think my demeanor come off like I ain't shit. I'm gonna come a certain type of way, but then they
You
be
got that
like
BDE. Okay. Okay.
something like that, you feel
Okay.
me? But then when I come in and I'm tight, I'm the type before you wake up and wrote good morning. Before you wake up, I want you already like, okay, yeah, he prioritized me.
Can I say something with that? Because I was guilty of this when I was younger.
Yeah,
Some women, we don't know how to appreciate that if you never had that before.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it'll come off too soft and whatever, and you don't
Uh,
even know how he give it
Feeling
up
soft.
in the streets, right?
Yeah.
Like he could have all this love and admiration for you because you're this beautiful being and woman that he want,
Yeah,
but you have just now cut that off because another man have never shown you love and
yeah,
like care. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
and
I was
that's
just like,
real.
yeah,
That's why I feel like I that last relationship I was in, like fantastic, but it made me way more rough around the edges.
mm,
I mean, way more rough around the edges where I'm not as comfortable as I was spending money, or
yeah.
certain things kind of had me like iffy, and I gotta see who you is first before I even expose myself 110 like that. You feel me?
So that makes me ask, what are the processes that as a trans man you're gonna go through so you don't carry that into your next relationship?
Well, honestly, I'm looking for a healthy brand of dating.
Okay.
That's what I'm
Break that
looking
down for
for.
me. What does that look like?
For me, healthy dating is kind of like us hanging out. Of course,
Hmm.
we get to know each other, but then okay, from there, I decide to court you.
Hmm. Oh,
I'm
you
taking.
use my word. Oh.
You feel me? I'm taking you on dates. You feel me? You can invite your cousins, invite your
So
friends.
can I pause you right there?
Yeah,
Courting, guys, is so vital. Make somebody court you.
yeah.
Make them date you before you decide to sign on a dotted line. Okay, go ahead.
That's completely because everybody doing these soul tie things, and they
Yeah.
don't really understand what really go into it. And now
Hmm.
you don't even like this person in every season.
Yeah.
You feel me? So yeah, I want to court a person first, where I can hang out with you, because I want to see what you like around your friends.
Yes.
Because your friends gonna tell you what you not telling.
How you treat the waiter if they didn't
Yeah,
bring your order right.
yeah.
You know,
A
like,
hundred, 110. Like, if you gonna speak up for me when I said I don't want no tomatoes on my sandwich, like
yeah,
I just want to see like what the vibes is gonna
yeah.
be before we start
Are
talking.
you rude to everybody you encountered? Those type of things
Yeah,
mean a lot.
because I want the type of girl. I don't want the girl that walk in the room and me mug every. I
Yeah,
don't want that. I want the girl that walk in and you want to talk to her.
yeah,
She light up the room because
yeah.
she friendly. She on that. That's the vibe I want, because
Period.
she gonna secure me in a business man.
Yeah,
You feel me? Like, she ain't trying to impress just the hood no more.
yeah.
You feel me? So, but from courting until exclusively dating. Once you say that we are exclusively dating, I'm not talking to nobody else. I'm not on nothing. I'm officially on with you. I should be trying to get to know your mama. Like we
Okay.
should be building some type of rapport where all right, where we going in the next 5 years?
Hmm.
That should be it for me.
Because you sound like me. Because when we get to that exclusive, that's my 30-day eviction note. You need to
Yeah,
wrap up
yeah,
whatever little, because I don't expect to meet somebody, date them, talk to them, whatever, and expect them to not to have
yeah.
anything going
That's
on. Like that would
delusional
be
if I
you.
thinking that. Yeah,
Yeah, like you
yeah,
didn't have no hoes before I got here.
yeah,
So now that we here and you really vibing with me and I'm vibing with you and we both mutually decide
yeah,
this is something we want to pursue,
yeah,
okay, I'm gonna start putting my little toys away, and I expect you to do the same.
yeah,
So when we do start to, it won't be no confusion about where we headed and where we been.
yeah.
You know,
100%, and that's how I feel because I'm not gonna lie, I got a little female or two around the bend or whatever, but I personally feel like I would prefer to be committed and able to build somebody with a business plan. Feel me? I want kids, and
yeah,
honestly, before I have a kid, we got to be on the same page.
that's how I feel about marriage. I want the wedding,
Yeah,
but marriage I can't do until I know your finances
yeah,
because I'm not about to do that. Or you got four baby mamas and they already taking your check. You're not about to get none
yeah.
of this. I
That's
can't do
real.
that.
That's real.
Yeah,
110, and that's what I'm looking for. I want to know is we both secure dealing with each other.
yeah,
You feel me? Because I'm not a perfect candidate. I still got some stuff I want to build on. But at least when you meet me, that's my conversation.
yeah,
Your
yeah. That's your
conversation should match mine.
intentionality.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what is it with the stigma around? I get it because I see it on the G side of the community where it's like they shame bottoms a whole lot. But what is this thing about teaming in, kind of like having this shame or getting stigma around if they like gay men or being penetrated
Yeah.
or those type of things?
Um, as a masculine man, I feel like it's a power dynamic. You
Okay.
feel me? Like it's already a privilege to be a man and the energy that come
Yeah.
with it. You feel me? And now I'm like, okay, I love you enough to submit that masculine energy for what we doing in our bedroom.
Yeah.
And a lot of men, I'm not gonna say they're not man enough to stand in the sun.
But I say that to men who are cisgender that don't come out with dating me. Like you're not strong enough. Like even though you're a man and you could be burly strong,
Yeah,
you're not mentally and emotionally strong enough to put
yeah,
yourself on the forefront to decide to choose me.
yep. That's exactly what it is, and that's why
Yeah.
you got a lot of down low trans men.
Yeah. I
And
think that's so weird when you say download transmit.
cause it is a lot of down low trans men. I don't feel like there's nothing wrong with it. You
No,
feel me?
I never heard the term before.
Yes, it's a lot of down low trans men, and they don't like me.
Okay. Yeah.
They
I
feel
think
like I'm
that's why
too.
we get along, friend, because a lot of people don't like us.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
don't. A lot of people don't like me because they feel like I'm too honest, and maybe I'm supposed to be keeping all our secrets or something.
Yeah.
But nah,
Yeah.
I'm all the way comfortable in my skin. I know myself. So when I go around these dudes and they be like, "Oh yeah, I let my girl do this to me 2 birthdays out the week." Like, nah, come on, man, stop playing with
Yeah.
me, man. You
Yeah.
you you like to do that, bro?
You
Like,
know, and own that because I think vulnerability is just being, for me, vulnerability has always been educational.
yeah,
I have always learned things from my own vulnerability and other people's.
yeah,
So it's like the more that people reveal things to me, I'll be like, either I know to do that or to not fucking do that.
yeah.
But yeah.
It's one way or another. Like me being a verse guy,
Mm-hmm.
you feel me? A lot of people don't expect that from me.
Okay.
So when I had conversations with people, they be looking at me like a weirdo.
No.
They be like, weird.
So this is what I will say is that I had dated a man before and he just came, I don't know, maybe he thought that I liked a whole lot of freaky things, or maybe I,
That's the assumption with trans women. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't ask something I probably shouldn't have asked before.
yeah. And I was like, wait a minute, I'm not ready. This is too
But
much.
that's the stigma because
Yeah,
other girls do
yeah.
certain things.
I'm like, no, I just want some old fashioned. I just want some old
Talking about
fashioned.
the old fashioned.
Yeah, I'm a granny
Yeah,
here.
some standard hunching. That's
Yeah,
what we
like
said.
nothing too. Don't do not do too much on me. Don't
Not the foot
drop
up,
it
not
from
the
the
foot on
ceiling.
the head.
Yeah, not the ceilings and splits and all that. That's too much. I be like, wait a minute, okay?
I can respect that.
Because now you're gonna make me go get my purse and just have to Magic City, okay?
Hey,
Um,
shake your purse while
you
you're
you hear
saying.
me? How has it been? Like, so I know that there's not a lot of support groups or things like that for trans men. How has it been in doing this work, trying to create that lane, because I feel like that's what you're doing. You're honestly paving the way for younger trans men to come behind you and do this work.
I mean, it ain't been like a super easy thing. You got, different guys that's funny acting. You got different guys that feel like, hey, I got money already. I don't need your resources. Like, it comes with different energy. But for the young trans guy that feel like, hey, I need to be in an inclusive space. I need to be around some fellow bros. I need to be able to understand myself better. That's what make it fulfilling and worth it,
Yeah.
to be truthful.
So shout out to everybody who might be joining and listening to this conversation. It's so needed because we don't be able to come together and
Yeah.
live in our experience without it becoming some I'm more oppressed than you. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or it's just sexual.
yeah, yeah. And that all of that is cool, but it'd be like,
Yeah.
let's get over the trauma and let's get over the hurdle that we're facing first, and then we can talk about that
Yeah.
because it's too common now. Like I
Yeah.
feel like what I see, I call it the steak theory. If a girl already dated a guy on the scene, um, and not even fucking, but talked to, dated, whatever, she's already put her stake in him where that's my guy, you can't talk to him. And out of respect, what we call girl code, we don't talk or we don't entertain that. And sometimes you might miss out on your person
Yeah.
being a loyal ass friend.
And that's
So,
real.
yeah, but I think we have to evolve past that. Like two trans people meet, and then all of a sudden we got to be together, and that's just it. And it's
Yeah,
like,
and I don't like that because as of recently, I got a few people that's mad at me that feel like I shouldn't even befriend certain trans girls
yeah,
because other trans men can probably talk to her for 10 minutes.
yeah,
So it's like I understand that completely, but I feel like we all grown at the end
and
of
we
the
are.
day. If you're not talking to this person, if you're not dating this person, if y'all not on nothing,
And if your intentions, if you already know that your intentions was with a motive, then you already was setting that person in that relationship up for failure
yeah,
anyway.
yeah, hundred
So now
percent,
it's just like I seen something on social media where a person was saying, if you tell somebody you love them, that's already emotional and psychological abuse.
yeah,
And I agree 100%.
yeah.
Some people will like
Don't
literally,
tell me you love me.
okay, and then you treat me all the while
Mm-hmm.
like you don't love me, you hate me.
Cause I'm a little spiteful.
Hmm.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm a
What you
little.
gonna do, friend?
I did some stuff in my
Okay,
day.
I have did some stuff too in my day.
I ain't gonna lie, I done destroyed some property.
Me too.
I did some stuff in my day.
Doo-doo-doo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that from my baby.
Yeah.
She just doo-doo-doo, everything so doo-doo-doo. I'm like, that is me.
Yeah.
Yeah. What goals do you see for the younger AFAB and trans community moving forward? What would be something that you would want to see?
Honestly, something for them I would want to see is more occupational work. You
Mm,
feel me? And not just the typical masculine jobs. Like everybody don't gotta be a construction worker.
yeah.
Everybody don't gotta go be a security guard. Like
Everybody don't want to lift that heavy shit
yeah, you
either.
feel me? I feel like it's more things that's open in this world, and me stepping into nonprofit work really showed me that. Like I dropped out of school early. I was
Mhm.
in a bad domestic relationship. I never had my parents. I had 1,000 strikes against me
Yeah,
before I was like, "Hey, I want a career in a business. This
that's
is what I
real.
want to do next." So it shouldn't be nothing that stop you from evolving. So that's what I think I want to see more, and then more self love. You feel me? Like 110, loving yourself where
Yeah,
another person can't move your character. You feel
yeah.
me? Because there's a lot of guys out here, the DL trans man,
I love that DL trans
and
man.
it's a lot of guys that give up their right to topping
Mm,
because
yeah.
they feel like I wasn't born with my piece and you used to having it, so I'm gonna let you use your piece. Hey, that's cool, but what's first over here, baby?
That was a lot of static in my relationships that I had to navigate through and understand it. And at the time, I was the only girl dating another trans person, so I had no where to look and turn and say, "Hey, have y'all experienced this with the guy?" Now I can
Yeah,
talk to any girl and she like, "Oh yeah, this person is dirt and da da da."
yeah,
But I've never went in the intention of making him feel insecure about his anatomy. It was just that I was already secure with a certain type of
yeah,
pleasure. And it was like either you can introduce me to something new, but there's a give and take in any relationship. So
yeah.
if I can try this new thing, why can't you try this old thing? You know?
And that's real because that's how I feel completely. I want them to try this new thing.
Okay. Okay, you
Yeah,
better talk about it.
I feel like that completely. I think it's a big stipulation behind trans men not having good dick.
Mm,
Please follow me on Twitter. But
okay.
personally, I feel like you got to be open minded to the person that you with.
Yeah.
You know, regardless, like say if I was a cisgender man, if you had no chemistry with me, it wouldn't matter what my dick was doing.
That is very true. That is why a lot of relationships, I think in this season of my life, my relationship and my attractionality to people have solely changed based on chemistry, connection,
Yeah,
energy. If it's not there, I'm just not forcing it.
yeah, 100%. If it's not there, it is what it is at this point because I feel like I'm the shit. Because if
Okay,
you look at me and
pop your
say,
shit
"Hey, I
then.
don't do trans men," hey baby, you know, sweat off my back.
Okay, somebody else will.
Yeah,
I'll get
a
somebody
lot
else
of
to do it.
somebody's on front of. I'll be all right. I'll be all right, oh, baby.
Okay, it ain't you, it's me.
Yeah,
Okay, at
yeah,
this point.
that's all good with me.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So, what is currently bringing you joy in this season of your life?
Fool, I just had top surgery literally like
Hey.
50 days ago. I'm like fresh off the table, like literally
Yes.
50 days ago. That's really like my biggest joy right now.
Okay.
Looking in the mirror and really being like, yo, that brother's attractive.
Yeah.
You know, I never had that as a
Yeah.
kid. I used to walk by the mirror because I'm like, I used to have bad acne, didn't know what to
Oh,
do with my hair. Like, I was all over the
yeah.
place.
You know what's the crazy part about it? Like I've had my thoughts, but no matter what my thoughts was, I still push through. Like I ain't give a fuck about nothing. Like
Yeah,
I'm like, I ain't got no lashes on today. But you know what? And I'm like, I'm gonna wear my hair today.
yeah,
Whatever it is, I'm just comfortable in me because
yeah,
you know what? Too many. I always put myself back in perspective. There's too many trans women who's not here to live their authentic truth.
yeah,
So I just kind of humble myself with all that shit and like be like, you know what? But you still here.
yeah,
You know?
yeah. 100%. Yeah, 100%. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah. How did you get introduced to what it was to be trans or your transition in and of itself?
My first experience, I wouldn't call this a trans experience.
Okay.
I have an uncle that's intersex.
Okay.
He was born with both.
But
Um,
most people don't talk about that
yeah,
either.
that was my first time even seeing it. I never knew what trans was, but
Mhm.
I knew my uncle was different. And at that time, my grandma, she wanted a girl.
Okay.
So you know, back in the '60s, they gave you a choice.
Yeah.
They let you know, hey, your baby a little bit more Y, but if you
Yeah.
want an X,
We
we'll
can make that
make it do what it
happen.
do. And so she pretty much made him a trans man by default. So
Mm.
by the time he got 17, he grew fake. He became a nigga. Like
Yeah.
there was nothing stopping that. So that was my first where I was like, oh, God make different people.
Mhm.
Something different. You feel
Yeah.
me? When I first got like introduced to it, I was felt
Yeah. What is
um
we don't want them to
I was
hear.
coming up to the Rufella Center and which it was so different because I was kind of transphobic.
Okay.
I'm not lying to you. I was kind of transphobic. It
We
was
all
it
got a
was
little internalized something.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So you know, it was different for me, but like seeing everybody up there, I'm like, oh, it's a whole different world. And this was probably like 2019,
Yeah.
like 2019. So yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I think that's so important too because like when you go through this journey of discovering yourself, you start off by thinking you're the only one.
yeah,
There is nobody else
yeah,
that's going to go through or understand you.
yeah.
And then you find this whole world of people that's like share the
And
same.
you know what's crazy?
What?
I didn't even know I was trans for a long
Mm,
time. Like I always had like I came up in privacy, so all my
hmm.
clothes came from like my male cousins. So I
Okay.
always was in boy clothes, playing football, basketball, just outside
Right.
being rough. You feel me? I knew. I think the first time it really stuck out to me. Hated being called a girl. Didn't want to be called a lesbian.
Yeah.
I was like, lesbian not it. I like girls, but lesbian is
Yeah.
that's not it.
You know what mine was like I was just too feminine for everything. Like back in grade school, like elementary, like literally having the whole school like, why you walk like that? Why you talk like that? And I'm like, baby, this with boy clothes on. So
Yeah.
just imagine if I had some bubbles and a little skirt, I'd be eating y'all hoes up.
Mm,
But I was just like, okay, this is that. Found the Ruth Ellis Center, found my tribe, allegedly, at least I thought, and everybody kept asking, are you gay? Are you in your case? Are you a lesbian? Did it? We
yeah.
ain't even had sex yet, so we don't know what we are.
Yeah.
But
I
we
was a
just
late bloomer too.
you see what I'm saying? So then you get to this point where it's like, no, or are you supposed to like these people? And they like, you're not my type.
Yeah.
You're too girly to be gay. Like, what do you
Yeah.
mean? I'm too like, how am I too
I
feminine?
was always too masculine.
Yeah, I
Like,
was too feminine to
yeah.
be.
The
They like, no,
lesbians was like side eyeing me. They like,
yeah,
you
you a
cute, but
different
yeah,
breed.
yeah.
Yeah. And then I was just like, once I started like figuring out what trans was and all of that, and my attraction to men kind of like mimic that. I was like, oh yeah, this is home.
Yeah,
This it.
that's how I knew 100%. Like my actions and demeanor with women was so fluent, like from just grabbing the female booty to like all that was fluent, like ninth grade. Like
Yeah.
I knew, like, okay, I could do this for the rest of my life.
So I don't necessarily know what your first time with a T for T relationship was, but somebody could have warned me. I didn't know. Okay, I didn't know what I know now. Like when you make them statuses about certain fellatios,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I didn't know. And then it went for me to be in a relationship after my first relationship. Because he wasn't on any medication or nothing. He just presented that way, and that's just what it was.
Mm.
But the next person I had got with, I was like, "Oh, baby, what you want me to do? What to who?"
Oh,
Like,
they was open.
yeah, and I was like, "Oh, wow, like this is the thing." I cried.
Yeah.
It was traumatic for me. I cried.
I mean, that's kind of how it was with my ex. She
Yeah,
was very in her mind about a lot of things and
yeah,
just had to like really go date somebody else so she can really see like, oh, okay, I'm different.
yeah.
I'm different.
Yeah, and the good thing is that you have to be with somebody who is emotionally patient for you to explore that. You can't be with another trans person who's going to shame you for your process or your ignorance. You need to be with somebody who can literally take the time to educate you, because if they don't know about themselves
Yeah.
and they only end goal is either a baby or marriage,
And yeah, that's completely real.
they using you as a factory or a pawn at
Yeah,
this point. So,
that's completely real. Like me being my ex's first, I gave my virginity to this person.
hmm,
You feel
hmm,
me? So like my feelings, when I say it was in my feelings about her and like behind her, and
yeah,
I don't think she really understood what that meant.
means, yeah.
Yeah.
Cause it changes things, because especially when you go into a world with other trans individuals,
Mm,
and now you see this person being attracted to your person.
yeah.
Like when we in just in the world existing as two perceived cis people, that's different. But when you go in a world where everybody around you is trans, now you start to look like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Not you want my guy. Not you want my man.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that kind of took me fast a little bit. How much I guess the girls was fetishized. I was
Hmm.
not used to that. Like I start hearing about tranny chasers. They start telling
That's
me
true.
so. They start telling me so much that it was overwhelming at
Yeah.
first. Where like I'm not gonna say it made me not trust her, but I'm like, well, she over here, she
Yeah.
at the Motel 6. So what you be doing?
Yeah. And that's true. I had to literally fight to break down all these stereotypes that people had about certain type of girls with just the type of woman that they thought I was because I said I was trans. And I'm
Yeah.
like, no, that's not me. Not to not or compare
Yeah.
apples
Yeah.
to
Yeah. Yeah.
oranges.
Nah.
It's just about, you should not do that. You shouldn't have all these assumptions about what you think a trans person
Yeah.
should be like.
Yeah, and I feel like that, like on vice versa, but dating a trans man, I feel like if you gonna date a trans man, erase all stipulations to what you
Yeah.
think a man is.
Yeah. And my advice would be, if you really gonna date a trans person, specifically a trans man, really be attracted to trans men. Like,
Yeah,
I know mine stem from,
I mean, I feel the same way about y'all. Like, really
yeah,
be attracted and not just what's in her pants.
yeah. Cause I really, mine's is like, I love masculinity. And I ain't found the soul more masculine than a trans man. Like, so I just be like, oh, come here, daddy. Like,
And you know what? That is a big ego stroke for a trans man. I don't know if any other trans man gonna admit this, but to have a trans woman really fan out over you
yeah,
and don't know you, that was really how I most felt like a nigga. Like when I
yeah,
was in a space where I'm like, she ain't peeping yet.
yeah,
Especially before top surgery. I
yeah.
used to really be like, she think I'm finna give her some dick.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
Yeah, it
But
was crazy.
but it also was the same security that I've never had before. It was the security of knowing that, like, even though he might get knocked on the ground or some, or he might be shorter than the average guy, he gonna stand up for me, or he gonna pop his shit.
Yeah.
And it was also like that that assurance that, like, he knows exactly what I'm insecure about, and he's gonna reassure me
Yeah,
that I'm perfectly fine the way I am.
yeah.
So, I love the T for T
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, the T for T, it hit different. Like even that, being told I'm handsome and just like,
You are a very handsome friend.
thank
If
you.
nobody told you today, you look good.
Well,
Okay.
thank you. I appreciate
Period.
that because
Okay.
I'm fresh in the game.
Okay, you got it.
They be taking they be going to my head a little bit.
As it should. I
But
think as a community as a whole, I think we need to practice love and complimentary
yeah,
behavior, like
yeah,
without the sexual intent,
yeah. But
without
just
the
moving in love and just being
yeah,
generous and like genuine. Like, hey, you look good today.
yeah, like
Yeah,
that's the thing. Cause I just love to tell people like you bad. I'm gonna let you know.
yeah.
So who is some of your mentors or the guys that help either mold you or you like look up to?
Some guys I looked up. Shout out to my bro Michael for surely,
Hey.
my boy Julian, Ramante Kalan.
Hmm.
Them some
Hey
guys,
guys.
them some guys in my circle where like Kalan being my brother, he irritate me so much.
I love him so
But
much.
he helped mold me as a younger guy. Cause sometimes, I be really smelling myself as an
Yeah,
Aries, and he'll tell me like, "Hey, don't be over there with that female, cause she come with this, she come with that.
yeah,
Rumors gonna get started." And a lot of the times he'll tell me in advance, like, "Hey, don't
yeah.
go over there, cause da da da."
And you
But
be like, I gotta be over
yeah, I'm like, no, I gotta let me.
there.
She ain't did nothing to me, and then before I know it, I'm like,
You was
okay,
right.
okay, all right, cool. You got that, So it's,
Yeah,
it's a lot of guys in my life where I like, just really look up to them and just like, how they treat their women, how they move just in life in general,
yeah,
because it's a lot of toxic trans men. You feel me? They new to transitioning, and so they feel like they got all the girls, so they gonna play them a certain type of way, move a certain type of way. But really, those the boys that ain't had no hoes in high school.
mm.
That's just real. Like
Thank you for saying that.
that's just real.
Okay, so if I could be so bold,
Yeah.
what advice would you have for a cisgender man in his approach or in his um attraction to a woman like myself? Because I feel like y'all have a keen insight that they may never say. They may not ever have a brother that they can go to and get that type of advice. But
Mm,
somebody got to tell these niggas how to handle us.
yeah. I'm gonna say being attentive.
Hmm.
You feel me? Like whether you know a female or not, whether you feel like, hey, me and her rocking, the quickest way to make a female turn into butter is being attentive. Like
Hmm.
even if you just peep her out, be like, oh shit, I was around you for the last 4 times and you wore green.
Yeah,
You ever repeat, oh, that's her favorite color.
yeah,
But a lot of dudes don't even pay into little stuff like that, like
yeah.
her favorite meals, what condiments she like. Girls pay attention to that. Like you've been around me for the last 10 times, because a female, she gonna get your food right. She already know what you wanted when she went in there, because she gonna say my man, my man, my man.
Period.
She already know what it is.
You know how I know? Like I'm like I don't know. My friends kind of say that like I'm cold or like I'm opposed to love.
Gemini.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But
Yeah,
I'm true to it.
yeah,
But how I recognize for myself if I like somebody, if I buy you something, that mean I thought about how I want to make you feel in this moment. I want
mm-hmm.
you to see that like
Yeah.
I cared enough about you to do something, and I'd be like, "Oh shit, girl, you like him?" Like,
And that go a long way.
yeah,
That
yeah,
go a long way because women often don't buy niggas nothing. Like they get in the store and go blank, but y'all can buy hats, accessories,
mm-hmm,
cologne. Like it's a lot of stuff men actually like that you can
yeah.
spend money on.
And I try to not mold, but I try to give an insight to how I want to be treated. So I'm gonna treat you exactly how I would
Yeah.
hope you would treat me in reciprocation because I'm gonna show you first. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't need you to like wait for me or a tick for tat. A lot of relationships I see in that, like people go tick for tat. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
If I want to love on you, if I want you to feel this, you gonna
Yeah.
feel it.
110.
Yeah, I'm not waiting for you to. Is he gonna buy me flowers? No, I'm gonna go buy you some flowers
And
because
that's real G shit though, because a lot
yeah,
of females they don't do nothing but be having their hand out. They
nah.
ready for something.
I'm like Elmira. Like that's the
Yeah.
type of girl I am. Okay, or Nikki
I respect
Parker.
that.
All the crazy women that love real hard. That's me. Like I'ma show whoever in that moment, whether delusional or non-delusional, how I love you. Like I can't help but ooze love for a person when I got my
Yeah.
eyes locked on
You know
them.
what's the realest thing that I was told as a kid
What?
is that you have to be a husband before you're a husband.
Mm.
That's the real thing I told the kid, because you're not gonna get married and be faithful Like if you're not faithful already, there's no way a ring on your finger gonna make you faithful.
That is so
You
true.
feel me? If you don't know how to be considerate, if you don't know how to just look out for your partner best interest, you're not gonna do it just because you walk down the aisle. It's just not.
And you know the whack ass excuse people use. I've never done this before, so I don't know.
I hate that.
You could have practiced on your friends. You could have practiced on yourself. You had a lot of room within this time before you met that person to actually put those things in
Yeah.
play.
But I think honestly, they're not even thinking about who they want.
Yeah,
They just saying they want somebody.
that's true.
And I think that was my fault when I prayed to God for my last relationship. I
Yeah,
was like, God, just bring me somebody that don't mess with nobody else more than me.
yeah.
I ain't asked for nothing else.
But that's the thing too. But I also will add that they do have some stipulation of who they want because people. Well, I'll speak for myself. I always had this image and ideal of what he was gonna show up like and what he was gonna be like. But as I've done my own growth and journey, I
Mhm.
recognize that he ain't nothing of the sort. Like the type of partner I want now is not that superficial
Yeah.
ideal of a guy that I thought.
I thought I wanted the stripper, big booty, BB. Like I thought I wanted that,
Yeah,
and now I'm doing like LLCs and 501c3s, and I'm
yeah.
like, your booty not gonna help me,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. Your heart
Yeah,
gotta be made to go. Like
yeah,
if my guy can't stand at me while we on the red carpet and they just imprint when they put my name there and I'm shouting out my husband, I don't want it. Like
yeah,
I
yeah.
wanna no, it's not real.
I feel that 100% because when I get married, I want to be like one of them extra. I gotta ask my wife first.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so what are three goals you have in the near future that you want to accomplish?
In the near future, starting my own consulting firm, like that's my
Okay.
baby. And like, secondly, I want to model. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Um, thirdly,
I'm scared of you. I'm
next
scared of
up
you,
and
friend.
coming in ballroom.
Okay. What category you walking?
Trans man realness. I
Okay.
might dibble with some male figure here and there, but
Yeah. Do it all. Touch
yeah,
it all. Give him hell.
yeah,
That's my thing for for the rest of my life. Give him hell. If they already ain't gonna like us, friend,
yeah.
you just gotta keep applying
And
pressure.
that's how I feel. If you already don't like me, I'm about to give you something else to like, not like
Okay,
me for. Like,
because you already got your mind made up about me, sweets.
yeah,
But
you still
now,
judging me on something I did years ago.
but you're gonna have to stand in it.
Uh-huh.
You're gonna have to stand in it. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
110.
But I love these type of connections where even me, this our first time really just
Yeah,
kicking it.
and our conversation and vibes was cool since
Yeah.
we linked up
Yeah.
earlier. Yeah,
Because I want to feel like I have community, but you know what stops that? A lot of men loyalty to other women. Like
yeah,
I'm the type of chick. I don't want to say I'm a tomboy because I'm not really a tomboy, but I just love boys don't be in all that messy shit.
yeah.
So I can kick it with niggas all the time, and I'm not friendly with my coochie.
Mm.
So it's like when you can just really own a room and be a businesswoman and kick it with guys,
It hit different.
but then once I dress like hyper femme and I got my clothes on, now I'm a slut. And I'm like, wait, which one is it? Like
Yeah,
every woman is not attached to a whole lot of men because she's sleeping with them. Sometimes you could be a cool ass chick and every guy that got respect for you, he do it because he just genuinely know the woman that you are.
yeah.
Has nothing to do
And
with
honestly, a man more likely to look out for you in that way where they feel like, hey, this my sister, or
yeah,
hey, this my homegirl, where we do what
yeah,
we do. You feel
yeah,
me? But I'd rather vibe with that more.
yeah,
Especially when I know, all right, we can kick it. I can play my game. You not finna nag me. I can put some music on. We got
yeah,
music taste similar. Like we can just sit and chill.
yeah.
It always hit different.
That's a vibe all
Yeah.
the time. Okay.
It definitely hit different compared to somebody who gonna come over your house, sit prissy on the edge of your bed, and just stay. That's
honey,
irritating.
honey.
That's
It's like with
irritating.
guys too. Like when they be like so scared and fidgety about like I'm like y'all know you ain't never done this before. Like
Yeah.
because I like to be submissive. Like I'm very submissive by nature. But if I gotta turn up the heat, oh boy, I know we ain't never be nothing outside of what this is
Yeah.
because you're not man enough for me. You can't lead me, and I don't want to be led by the wrong type of man.
My biggest problem is that the girls be trying to leave me.
Mm-hmm.
You feel
Mm-hmm.
me? I mean, no, I'm the man here.
Yeah.
I'm the man here. You gotta relax a little bit.
Do you feel like in our community we have a hard time with letting go of past lives pre-transition to make room for the roles that our counterparts have now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, 110. And I think as humans, we naturally get scared of having our heartbreak. We scared of reliving the same thing and having time wasted. So I can understand that completely. But I do feel like if you come in and you show me, hey, like it's roses over here, the
Hmm.
grass kind of green, like
Yeah.
hey, it's nice over here. You feel me?
Yeah.
If you still choose to self sabotage it, you feel me? That's on you. That tell me that you lack maturity. You lack just having that self love for yourself. Because me personally, if you come in and you really like, hey, I'm gonna wash your clothes before work. I'm gonna make your food. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Whether I like you or not, or see something, I'm gonna value your time and your energy
Yeah.
because it's like, wow, that's crazy. You mess with me on a genuine level.
And I don't know if this apply to y'all, but women, we either have to be this or that. Like, right? Like either guys try and box us where we gotta be either a city girl or we gotta be a homebody. Like it can't be two or both. You can't have the balance. And I'm like, I can't be multifaceted. I can't be a bad bitch and a businesswoman. Like
I feel
I
like
would,
it depends the trans woman you cross.
yeah,
If you dealing with a trans woman that she date DL guys and she like to trade and that's her strict bunch, it's gonna come with some problems.
yeah.
It's gonna come with some problems because she always gonna think you doing something soft.
So $1 million question: would you go to couples therapy if your relationship was in trouble or if you had preventative measures?
Uh, I'm gonna say yeah because I
Okay.
I go to therapy in my individual
Yeah.
time, so I want to say yeah. But it depends what we going to therapy for.
Okay.
Like we here because you cheated, or is we here because emotionally we both stunted from our last relationship and we want to
Yeah,
grow
that
in the
sounds
future?
more feasible because cheating again, like I say, it's my staple. Cheating to me is understandable. And I say that because you have to understand trauma sometimes. And if I'm gonna fault you for your trauma, then I'm gonna fault you for cheating. Now, depending what's the reasoning behind that, how you grew up and all that, yeah, I might give you a pass.
You
But
ain't getting too much of a pass
that's what I'm
because I'm
saying.
gonna get my lick back.
Yeah, you can't cheat on me every day or every week and all that. Like it just can't be that.
I'm the type of dude. If you cheat, I'm gonna cheat, and then you say
I'm
we
just like
making
we
up.
cheat. Yeah, we all right. We good.
We Cheetos. Just
Yeah.
don't come back flaming hot, and we cool.
All right, because spring is springing, y'all, and I want to give y'all the
Big Aries season.
yeah. I don't know, and Gemini's coming up, but but I want to get y'all, the bees and the honeys and all this that's gonna be outside. Aptitude is out there for y'all. It's a form of prep where y'all can be able to get this shot. For me personally, I'm going on there now. Like I go through this thing where it's like I want to be outside, but then I want to be inside, but I want
Mm-hmm.
to be safe more than
Yeah,
anything.
yeah,
So for me, aptitude is the new thing that I'm about to do. Talk to your local provider, get out there, do whatever is necessary for your sexual health to feel good for you.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel that same way. I'm tell the younger trans guys, older trans guys, those who just sexually active as far as like penetrative sex in general. Like, man, really look into prep. Really look into those things to keep your safe and
Yeah.
preventative. Like that stuff matters. You feel me?
Okay. So because I do apologize, Lips, because I came on here late, we're gonna have to wrap this thing up. But talking to you is really a blast.
Yeah.
But we do this segment in the show where it's pearls of wisdom, mouthy pearls of wisdom.
Okay.
And what advice would you have for a younger trans man who is either unsure himself or coming out newly in his transition? And he probably feel like nobody else is walking that path but him.
Man, I'm gonna say, man, you're not alone. Like 100% in this journey. For those who don't know, my Facebook name is Eli Marquise. Like, feel free to reach out if you need any advice, any wisdom. Like, I love my job. I'm not funny acting. Like, I'm gonna respond like 110. But my advice would be like, just really tap in with yourself and your self care. Your self love. Really like what you
Yeah.
see in the mirror, and on top of that, when
Say
you
it.
go to the doctor, they gonna give you this one size fit all manuscript that's
Yeah.
kind of more like, yeah, your facial hair gonna grow then, and this gonna happen and that gonna happen. With that being said, all of our bodies are different,
Yeah.
all our genetics are different. So don't be so hard on yourself. You feel me? You look up, you 6 months in, you ain't got no facial hair, still wait.
Yeah.
Still be patient with yourself. Don't just throw yourself to the wolves. Like it's a growing process, and trust the process. I'm telling you, like I always did not look this good. Like go back through my Facebook. Like
Okay,
you gonna
period.
cringe. Like trust the process and really believe in yourself. And on top of that, don't let nobody push you out your square for what a man's supposed to be.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like gather that information for yourself on what a man is supposed to be. And what I mean by that is that person that you want to go to bed with. You feel me? Like if you comfortable in your alpha male, be an alpha male, but don't be a toxic alpha male. Ain't no
Mm-hmm.
reason to be beating on your girlfriend to show you tough. Ain't no reason to be extra getting into situations to show that you manly. Because really being a man is the essence.
Yeah.
When I walk in a room, I demand my respect. I'm not in there or respect me. Like no, like
Yeah.
it's the way I'm moving. I respect myself. Respecting myself make others respect me. So that's my first tip into realness. So
Thank you. So I'll say from a whole different perspective is that I am here to be your support, your confidant. Tap into the women that's around you that understand your struggle, but let us know how we can support you. And if you don't speak up, we can't read your mind. The only time that I can offer to be a vessel or a shield for you is when I know that you actually have something that need to be shielded. With that being said, you can honestly heal from the things you've been through and decide to heal other people in your journey and your truth. And so, as a community, being able to be vulnerable, share space, and let people know that we do walk the same struggles is okay. It is okay to say that you're trans attracted. It is okay to say you like penetrative sex. It is
okay,
okay to not want hormones, to do want hormones, to have surgery. All the definitions of what you want your manhood to look like, it's totally up to you. So
that's
don't let
okay.
nobody else take that from you. It's your girl, Miss Mouthy. Even when you what? Don't see me, you hear me. Till next time. Bye.
Yeah, that was